Okay, let's talk about addictions for a minute. Now, when you see the word addiction, don't think that the person has a horrible disease and there's nothing they can do about it. They're just a helpless victim because they're addicted to sex or food or drugs or fame or fortune or clothes or beautiful homes or high positions or being right. Because it's not, genetics don't cause the pornography addiction or the sex addiction. They're choices that people make in order to get love supplies when they're little. And alcohol too. Yeah. You can hear that genetics play a part in everything if you want. And they may have a little part. I read a research once that shows that less than 1/3 of alcoholics have an allergy to alcohol and are addicted to it. Only 1/3. Psychogenic causes are much better. So let's write down alcohol, tobacco, sex addictions, drug addictions, methamphetamine, sex, alcohol. The ones that go undetected are the people driven for success and popularity and wealth. Monkey brains are addicted to what? Popularity and earning love and success and work and on and on. So addictions mean dependencies. That's the thing I want you to get in your mind. A dependency upon something outside of yourself for your major love supply. And this dependency is the problem. And it's the attempt of the person to get a love substitute. Yes?
Is it true that if you give up one addiction, you'll acquire another one?
Is it true that if you give up one addiction, you'll acquire another? The answer is yes, if you don't get true love supplies to replace the old addiction. One good example of that is people who stop smoking and start to gain weight. What are they doing? Changing this oral gratification to the food one. And they often say when you have them finishing sentences, they come in and want to stop smoking. I can't stop. I smoke because. Well, so I won't get fat. See? Because they want to suck and turn their body on through the mouth rather than eat and get fat. So do you want to get fat and die of that, or do you want to get cancer and die of that? So choose your poison, right? So there's all sorts of things that people can be addicted to, and what it means is they're dependent on it, and it's always a love substitute. Now, it's true that there can be genetic predispositions, there can be chemical things that do this, but those rarely are the chief cause. But if you believe that those are the chief cause, then you can get on some medications and see if that doesn't help you, but it's a Band-Aid over a cancer. People who really want to work on their addictions will go to the source, and I'll show you that in this book I wrote called Latter-day Plague. Has any of you read this? And in chapter 2, we have 10 patients who were doing pornography, and they finished sentences. And I want to share some of those with you so you can get the flavor. We'll use the pornography addiction, chapter 2, as example of how many addictions are formed. And you'll see what this is. Now, what is the desire of finding out the anatomy of an addiction, such as pornography? What's the purpose in doing that?
Healing.
Healing. Is it wrong to go back in the past and see the cause of things? No, because it gives you power to undo them. And people say, well, this just shows that you're going back and bashing parents and beating them up, and people can get stuck back there in the past and dwell on that forever and use it as an excuse to never get well. You see, there's a great statement, and I never realized it until I was in court one testifying as an expert witness. And as I told the reasons why this man had such a terrible temper and why he smacked his girlfriend's baby and it died. And as we went through all those, and the lawyer I was testifying for asked questions that would show the causes, the judge leaned over to me and said, Dr. Ellsworth, just because you know the cause, does that mean you don't have to take the consequence? I said, absolutely not. We know the causes so we can fix it. It doesn't mean he should not go to jail. But we hope in jail that he gets a program that will help him fix the causes so he can be free one day. Thank you. He said. So remember that. Just because you know the causes it's not an excuse.
Right, yeah.
Causative behavior is not an excuse for doing it. We call it origin of cause. So we have our patients finish 10 sentences. Mom was always, and with mom I always felt, and I resented mom. And then we have them finish them about dad. So if you have your book, turn to page 7.